JC here at headquarters. If you want to learn how the latest digital action cameras stack up against each other, watch this. Today, we've got the Drift Ghost S, the Hero GoPro 3 Plus Black Edition, and the Garmin Virb Elite. Now, all three of these cameras retail for $399.99, but there are some differences. First of all, the Ghost S claims a battery life of 3.5 hours at 1080 DP. The Hero GoPro 3 Plus Black Edition claims 2 hours at 1080, and the Garmin Virb Elite has a 3-hour battery life. Now, obviously, the battery life affects the battery size, which affects the camera size, so you notice that some of these cameras are a bit larger. But there's one other feature that makes them larger. It's the LCD screen. First of all, on the Ghost S, you'll see it's got this great screen that allows you to line the camera shot up when you mount it. The Garmin Virb Elite also has a similar screen. So these two cameras are pretty easy to use. Now, the GoPro Black Edition does not have an LCD screen stock with it, but you can buy an accessory, so you can get that feature as well. Now, all three of these cameras are waterproof, and the best part about this checkup we did on these cameras is that we got to take them out to the track and see how they worked in a real world. Watch this. So last night I was putting these on, and you know, you gotta get the instructions and you gotta kind of learn about all of them. And I put the GoPro on first, thinking that probably going to be the easiest, right? It's been around the longest. Right. I also noticed that the mount itself was better fit for the center. This mount really only goes forward or back. You know, that's bad stuff. I figured, you know what, I got to put it in the middle if I'm going to put all three of these on here.
Yeah, so with this one here, you can't adjust it this way or that way, can you? It's just up or down.
No, part of why I had to put it up here, and I realized that these cameras could be mounted on the side. So, you know, I chose the left for the Garmin because it's got this button, this easy slide switch. You can hit this with your gloves, it turns it on and off. You don't have to use that either. I read the instructions. This thing will start filming when you start moving if you put it on that setting.
Oh, wow.
The minute it detects movement, it starts recording. So you don't even really need that switch, but I figured let's put that switch on the outside anyway. But what I found with the Garmin is that it adjusts easily. You've got up, down, this way. You've got side to side. And then you've also got an up-down setting like this. So this thing seemed to be the most adjustable out of these two. And then I put this one on. This is the Drift Ghost S, and it as well has an adjustment to go up and down. Then it has a lens adjustment that actually adjusts where your lens is to make it level.
Okay.
So
yeah, that just turns, right?
Right.
Just twist that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the adjustment for moving it the other way works like this. So you set this wherever you want, and then you slide it back in. Tighten it up. Let's say I wanted to shoot the sky for some reason. You know, I'd do that. So realistically, I think the Garmin's the most adjustable. The Ghost S is probably second, and the GoPro is probably the least adjustable.
Okay.
Cameras, but
okay.
You know, really the reason I put these three cameras on this helmet is to determine which camera had the better clarity, produced the better video. But in doing this, I realized that I also got to learn about usability for the camera. Some of these cameras are more intuitive than the others. In my opinion, the GoPro is the least intuitive. It's the toughest to use, and I think that a lot of it starts from just button function themselves and the button design. The buttons aren't labeled. This is the shutter button, and this is the Wi-Fi button, and this is the on and off switch, but it doesn't say that. So you've got to have your instruction manual out when you're trying to do anything. And I guess once you've worked with the camera for a while, then you're going to know, right, hey, this is what it does. But out of the box, it was tough. So I hooked up the Wi-Fi because it has an application for your phone, so you can actually line up the camera and see where the camera's focused. And with the GoPro, out of the box, that's the option you have.
Right.
These other two cameras both have, this is an LCD screen and this is a chroma screen. We can line up these cameras here by just utilizing the camera. In order to line this one up, you have to have the app going.
Right.
So now you've got to have the Wi-Fi working to get to your phone to see the app. So I got that all downloaded, and I figured once I synced it up, the next time I turned the camera off and turned it back on, it would be automatically synced, and that wasn't the case. Got through setting the camera up, shut it off, I thought, for the night, and coming out to find the next day, the battery was dead. It was dead because I left the Wi-Fi on, and there was a little blue light flashing. Don't get me wrong, I probably should have saw the blue light flashing, but I didn't. In order to turn the Wi-Fi off, you have to press this button, so that's outside the power operation. So it made it a little bit more difficult for me. These two cameras, when I pushed the off button, they went off, and we were good to go. Usability being an intuitive design. This is the Garmin Virb Elite. It has labels on the buttons, so you know what they're doing. This is the record switch. It says record right there. The Drift S has a function right on the button itself. It was pretty basic. I won't say I'm the most techy, you guys, but I think I'm probably intermediate as far as using new tech devices. Out of all these three, I think I like the Garmin Virb Elite the best. Now we'll see what the video comes out to be.
Right.
The bigger the screen, the larger the camera. I get it, but man, Joe, I really like the screen.
Well, probably just the simplicity of it all. You don't have to have another gadget in your hand. It's right there. Just making it easier.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see that on the way. Well, I think it looks awesome on that Kabuto helmet.
Well, that was a lot of fun, but I want to share one more thing with you, and that's a question that we get from our riders all the time. They want to know how they start recording and stop recording, and how they know when the camera is recording. Well, number one, all three of these cameras have an app for your phone, so you can control it from there. But two of the cameras also have a wireless remote. The Ghost Drift S has this remote, and the GoPro 3 Plus Black Edition has this one. Now the Garmin Virb Elite does not have a remote, but it actually doesn't need one because it's got a feature called auto record. And what auto record does is it starts recording when you start moving. Now if you don't like that feature, you can still do it manually. It's got a nice switch on the side. It's a glove friendly switch. It's really easy to get to start and stop recording. As usual, we welcome all your questions. You can call us at 800-706-9476 or go to jcmotors.com, get live support, and you'll find out why JC Motors is where riders get deals.